Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome.
I used to love that show, yo.
I know. Yo, big shout out to Mr. Bear from TV, a.k.a. Bear from VladTV, a.k.a. Mr. Ray Benzino.
Man. Welcome
the F back.
Yo, Prez, honestly, man, like, I'm an emotional guy, man, with cancer, so you have to, but I got goosebumps all over my body right now. Honestly, like it really is. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks or says about this moment, because this moment right now, I'm feeling this. Like I'm grateful, humble, and I feel like there's a bigger responsibility we have that's bigger than us. Me and Vlad, squashed our differences, and I want to thank him. For having me back on the podcast. Definitely want to thank Maf, and I want to thank you. I know I've been doing interviews with Vlad for if you look on YouTube, there's one interview that says 12 years ago, 13 years ago, right? And it was, I did a phoner with him, and this was before he was doing the on-camera thing, and it just shows pictures. It's him talking, it just shows pictures of me, and you could hear the interview on a phoner. Since then, I've probably done about 7 to 8 of them, and one of them, the only interview I've ever done with my father. So, me and Vlad go back a long time, and no matter, I've said some things about Vlad on different podcasts, but I keep it 100. If you look at the podcast, even when I talking about our differences, I always give him his flowers for definitely being one of the first to do this podcast type of thing in hip hop. And I just feel like when I'm looking at our interviews, the numbers we were getting, and the numbers don't lie, man. People like the collaboration. And I just feel like we have a bigger responsibility for hip hop to squash our differences and come back. And I'm just so grateful to be here.
Absolutely, and Benzino, that's a very mature outlook that you have. It's so much beef going on in hip hop, and truth be told, you and Vlad was going at it for a minute.
Yeah.
Some things were said on both sides.
Yes.
And for y'all to rise up and say, yo, what is this at the end of the day? It's words. I didn't do nothing to you. You didn't do nothing to me. It's words. Let's get back to business. Just shows.
Men do that.
Exactly. There you go.
You can't define a man. Men are defined by a lot of different ways. In a lot of ways, there's ego-driven, tough guy, and a lot of my life I lived like that. A lot of my early life. And what I'm realizing now is that my vulnerability kind of makes me more of a man. And when I was on reality TV, me being vulnerable with women and just my feelings, when I went on other podcasts and boo-hooed, I looked at that as strength. And, I want more men out there to look at that as strength. And I want what me and Vlad are doing now to be an example for the young guys out there and for the older guys that should be setting examples. Like you said, and I'm glad you said that, is way too much beef on social media, is way too much beef within hip hop that's unnecessary. And I think that what our culture is doing is being entertained by that more than the actual music and things that's what build this culture. And, you're always gonna have, with hip hop, there's always going back and forth each other, rap beef. We've seen a lot of that. But when you look at social media, man, and just everybody trying to flex up on everybody with their money and what they do, and it's just, somebody has to make a stance. And if I can come here and make a stance, you know what I'm saying, and if that can show the next man out there, then, man, this is all worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of beef, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, legendary.
Legendary.
Two titans in their prime. It's not like one was over the hill.
Historic.
In their prime.
Historic.
Went at it. They kept it on wax. One came out victorious.
Yes.
Then he hit the Super Bowl stage. the biggest stage on planet Earth.
On planet.
I think something 180 million people tuned in. Did you catch that performance?
Were you kidding me? I was in, I was in Detroit, and no, I was in Boston actually. I was in Boston, and a real good friend of mine passed away, my man Yancey. I went up there to bury him, and me and Girk went over his friend's house, and you know, I'm a Patriots fan, so really, I definitely didn't want Kansas City to win because I didn't want Mahomes to get that three-peat. You know what I'm saying? And Taylor Swift just be, you know, at the games be bugging me out. So that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? But what I loved about the performance was, you know, first of all, the build-up towards it. People don't understand it. Again, this is hip-hop. What I get excited is when things are for the betterment of hip-hop. For 180 million people to be looking at that, that was a victory for hip-hop. Let's just forget about Drake and Kendrick for a minute.
No question.
That's a victory for our culture. To see a young black man come up from the struggle, you know what I'm saying, in poverty and struggle, which we all do, and then to reach the biggest stage on, you just said it, that's the biggest, there is nothing bigger than that. Absolutely nothing. There is no concert, there's no, when they all come together in the parks, nothing bigger than that. The way it was handled, I have to give Jay-Z his flowers. We gotta give Jay-Z his flowers. I haven't heard too much of that. Jay-Z made that happen. That was the best choice, because at the beginning it was like, oh my God, that was a great situation, because the way the performance was and the way the choreography, we have to give flowers to that. Kendrick went up there with no hype man and rapped. You could actually hear him rap. You know, he wasn't lip singing the whole time. And that's the essence of hip hop. One mic, one man, all right? And the performance, the performance was so big that it's still sending shockwaves right now. People are still enthralled in that performance and talking about it right now. So the impact that was on people to say, look, white, black, Asian, Indian, Middle Eastern, man, it transcends all the religion. If people could understand that right there is everything great about hip hop. If Kendrick Lamar's performance and everything that surrounded it, that is what everything is great about black culture, about black people. And, you know, we need more of that, because I don't think the understanding is still there about how great of a culture that we are. And that doesn't put us over cultures. That just, because it's been long overdue, you know, for us to get our props out here and us to get our flowers as a culture. But us fighting each other and killing each other doesn't help that. So it was good to see at that moment that, you know, it's a smile for everybody, man. And, you know, kudos to, salute to Kendrick Lamar, his team, and everybody that was a part of that, because that really was a groundbreaking moment.
You know, I just did some fact checking of my own. It was actually 133.5 million that tuned in.
Hey, listen, 50, but that they say. You gotta remember, they don't know it, because I was sitting in the house with about 13, 14 people watching it. So they could say that, but you could best believe that I think it was more. It was more eyes on that.
But the point I wanted to raise is, understand that stage, because I really want to hone in on the enormity of that stage.
Huge.
You got Michael Jackson who hit that stage.
Right.
Rihanna, Eminem.
Right.
The greats have hit that stage.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Lamar, hip hop.
Pure hip hop, though. Pure hip hop.
They're all hip hop.
Kendrick has always been, and see, what I do know about and following Kendrick's career is he's always been pure hip hop. Like, you could tell he's a hip hop purist.
No question. But to think Kendrick drew the largest audience of all time. What a win for hip hop, man.
What a win for hip hop.
What a win for hip hop.
You probably could have said that at the same time.
Yeah, but check it out. A lot of people, I mean, he had to do it, but it was speculation that he wasn't going to do Not Like Us. And he ends up doing Not Like Us and Euphoria. People was like, look, You already hit Drake with the death blow. Are you really going to kill him in front of the largest audience on earth at this moment?
Well, Drake was still beefing with him. If Drake would have put up the white flag a while ago, maybe he would have, you know what I'm saying? But Drake with the lawsuit and, you know what I'm saying? Drake will go down in history as one of the greatest artists in hip hop. One of the most transcending artists in hip hop.
Absolutely.
Okay, when it's all said and done, whatever that'll be. So he has to put his ego in check, man. You gotta know that. You gotta know that your L's isn't everybody else's L's. Like, okay, you went, people are gonna forget about it, keep making good music, and keep it moving. Jay-Z and Nas went at it. Did it kill Jay-Z's career? Did it kill Nas's career? No. He has to know his worth and how great he is to get so upset and then, you know, stuff like, well, if people like that song, I'm not gonna mess with you, no, I'm not gonna deal with you no more. I don't like that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily, and I know, I'm telling you, I've been through beef. You know, everybody knows my long thing with Eminem. Just because somebody likes Eminem, that doesn't make me not gonna wanna do business with you or gonna wanna deal with you. I go to Detroit all the time and deal with people that love Eminem. Like what type, you know, it's not that serious with me. See, with me, I know what serious is and I know what real beef is and I know the pain that comes for that. This is money, you know what I'm saying? This isn't real pain, man. So you gotta put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Drake, it's all right, Drake. You still that guy. But he wasn't prepared for Kendrick. He just wasn't, and he wasn't that type of rapper.
Here's the deal. I don't think Drake was prepared. I mean, you don't get to the top of hip hop, music, entertainment's Mount Everest without having a hell of a lot of haters along the way. And I don't think he was prepared. Like, the higher you go, the farther you gonna fall down, and people gonna be happy to see you get knocked off that mountain.
You know what that's called? The physics of hate. You gotta understand the physics of hate. You can only, there is a ceiling in life. Once you reach the top, where else is there to go? Where else is there to go? Take it back to Jesus. You know, take it back to Jesus, and I don't want to get biblical religious, but I just look at him as such a huge figure that at one time, you know, he had you know, when all that was going down, his own people turned on him, right? When Rome got him, they're saying, get him. Now, I think it's in human nature to look at somebody and start feeling a little envious and feeling a little jealous once they get, there's plateaus, and not everybody can reach that super plateau where Drake went with it. There's very few artists that reach that super plateau. And Drake is showing no signs of slowing down. His run isn't a run anymore. He's here. So the physics of hate say, after a while, it's only, they can only hate you. Love and hate is like the most confusing thing for people. You know, a lot of hate is just confused admiration. And it's the physics of hate. It's gonna happen in any type. You can get so far and you're not gonna get that hate. You could be successful and be all right. You're gonna get some hate. But once you get the more successful, you're gonna get more hate. That's the physics of hate. And people just have to understand that. That's just how it is. It comes with the territory.
Nah, it does. And here's what I don't think Drake was prepared for the hate. And this happens in all walks of life. The bigger you are, when they start to topple you over, you see real quick how many people were sitting and waiting in the wings for you to come down. But Drake also had everybody coming at him at once. It wasn't just Kendrick. Everybody decided they was gonna bust their shot at one time. And where do I turn my attention? Because I got any and everybody who's looking to say something about me, saying it now in this moment. Mm-hmm. And then I got the biggest hip hop, like arguably the biggest hip hop god walking, Kendrick Lamar, who he done stepped out the shadows. Kendrick, I don't know what he be doing in his spare time, but when he come out, he make his presence felt. It's different.
He's different. We're not gonna act like that Drake propelled him too. We're not gonna act like that Drake was bigger than him before all this. As an
Absolutely.
artist, all right? So, you know, it's you know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Let's be clear. We're not gonna act like Drake is not bigger than him as an artist today. Kendrick,
well, I don't know.
He won the battle.
I don't know right now. Right now it's different. These things change quick.
No. Maybe you didn't see Drake drop that album with Party.
Sure.
And
yeah.
What is it? 100?
Yo, the hoodie with the smoke coming out of it, with the holes in it.
Crazy. But that's, what is it? The most streamed one day total on Spotify?
Yeah.
Some obscene number?
Yeah.
Let's not act like this. Like Drake is Drake. Let's be clear.
Okay, we'll just put them both up there like this then right now.
Okay.
Kendrick, Drake. How about that? It's just that Super Bowl performance, like you said, it reached so, like, do you think, let me ask you, do you think Drake will ever perform at the Super Bowl?
I think he should.
If The Weeknd did, then why not Drake?
No, I think he should. I absolutely think he should. From what I understand, he turned it down 4 different occasions.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was asked and he turned it down on 4 different occasions.
Okay.
But he should.
Why would he turn down the Super Bowl? Because of, because of
Jay-Z? I mean, obviously
because
it
of
has nothing to do.
Because of Jay-Z then.
No, who knows?
What artist turns down a Super Bowl?
Clearly a nigga who can. A nigga who got options.
What would be the reason for that?
I don't know. I have no idea. But prior to this, he turned it down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Drake's on some other shit then, because I've never heard of that. Why would you turn down a Super Bowl performance? I don't know.
Why would you turn down a Super Bowl performance? But before we move this thing on, if I could have, here's a deal. You don't get to be Jay-Z. You don't get to be Nas. You don't get to be
Ice Cube.
Some of
Snoop.
Drake.
Snoop.
Dr. Dre. Snoop. You must have a huge ego. It comes like part of what propels you and part of what tells you I'm better than everybody else breathing is that ego.
You might have a point there.
You need it. You have to have it. I'm telling you, Benzino.
But your ego, right, at some point detaches from yourself and who you're supposed to be. And sometimes if you don't control it and bring it back in, that shit'll fuck you up. Egos are known to ruin shit.
No, 100. The point I'm making is the very thing that makes these men and women great. It's the thing that we're now watching,
right? I know
and saying, "Yo, Drake, you lost a rap battle, bro. Get your ego in check and get back to business.
Get back to business.
That's it.
Get back, cause look, Kendrick don't make them love songs. Drake do. Drake is probably the only artist that transcended hip hop by being accepted as an R&B artist and as a rapper. I don't think of nobody else.
Yeah,
usually, in the history of hip hop, it was either you rap and you R&B. We're not really gonna fuck with you if you're doing all that singing. This nigga is accepted, and he's the only one. So, I mean, hey, listen, man. Like I said, they're both young men making money. Drake is definitely. It's funny because with all this Trump and Canada shit, Drake has to kind of be happy that that we took him in. Now, let's not forget about that. We don't usually take in guys from other countries. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
We don't, you know what I'm saying? Especially the guys on the block in the hoods, they're not made from Canada. You know what I'm saying? Listen, what was he, Wheelchair Richie, what was his name? I didn't watch the show. He was Wheelchair Richie, right? So, we didn't, when he was on the show with that, there's no way a guy that was gonna come run hip hop coming from that. So he has to kind of, I know him getting down with Jay Prince and Jay Prince's son and being Houston in the early years really helped that. I mean, that really helped that. And then Wayne signing him. So when you can look at the trajectory of him and how he went in his journey, he had some good luck along the way.
What you think about Serena Williams hitting that stage?
I think she killed it. And the best she's ever looked. Like, honestly, like, she looked good, man. That's like a new and improved Serena, yo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, like, come on, man. I mean, she's the greatest tennis player. She's always represented, you know? And man, she killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to crip walk, you know what I'm saying? But man, I remember she did it before. When she first did it, I think it was at the US Open. I said, oh man, that's a hell of a statement right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she crip walked in front of all them people up there. The most bougiest sport in the world is tennis, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was a statement, you know? So, you know, I think everybody loved it, man. And, you know, shout out to Serena.
Okay, but Stephen A, in true Stephen A fashion.
This guy. This guy. Man,
Okay, in true Stephen A fashion, Stephen A had something to say about Serena hitting that stage.
Stephen A had something to say.
Taunting her ex. And he said if that was his wife, she wouldn't be his wife no more. Go back to that nigga.
Listen, number one, right? He's not even married. Number one. Number two, and this probably should be number one. We're talking about a guy, very intelligent guy. You know, you can tell by his wordplay and how he talks. Very sports-oriented. He knows the sports. But when it comes to hip-hop and views on marriage and stuff like that, he should just fall the fuck back. He should fall all the way back because he's borderline embarrassing. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just not the Serena thing, because that was ridiculous. Maybe he's just saying stuff so, you know what I'm saying, to get clicks and comments from the culture. The man had nothing to do with the culture for a lot of years of his life. There was nothing hip-hop, there was nothing about this man and what we do in the hood that he was ever interested in. Ever. Now, I guess he sees Shay, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of these sports guys come in and they get their podcasts. And shout out to Shannon Sharp, he's doing an amazing job. But know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, this man ain't never ever looked hip-hop. I don't even think he listened to hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So for now, he you know, he's getting paid good up there at ESPN to do his shucking and jiving. But now what he's trying to do is he's trying to get to the hip-hop culture with stuff he says to get on the blogs out here, the shade rooms and the neighborhoods. And he's trying to be a part of the culture now. And the shit he says is just foolish. It's silly. You know, he makes himself look bad. You know what I'm saying? That shit he said about Serena was like, bro, I wish I was Serena's husband at the time, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd give him the business. He needs somebody to give him the business. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't got no, who the hell are you to talk about something like that? Who the hell are you? You ain't nobody. Stay in your sports lane, Stephen A. Because there's a lot of people who don't even like you over there, the shit you say. I must say I watch you because I'm a big sports fan. Some of the stuff you say I like and some you don't. But sports is where your lane is. Don't come over here now to the culture, homie. You know what I'm saying? Nah, because we don't wear sweatsuits zipped all the way to the top with a chain hanging out. We don't do that over here. You know what I'm saying? We don't wear the sweatsuit zipped all the way to the top with the little chain hanging out. That's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, before you start coming over here, just get your sweatsuit game right. You know what I'm saying? Call Ma for a crime god hoodie or something. You know what I'm saying? He just don't fit the profile of hip hop and of our culture. You know, and there's a few people out there, but he's a blood boiler. The shit he says, I think he said something about Diddy one time and Nicki and like bro, shut up. You know, like shut up, please. You know what I'm saying? STFU, Stephen A, because you're just saying things just to get clicks and comments. You really don't care about our culture.
Okay, so let's just say, as a general statement, and to your point, he's not married. I don't know if he's ever been married.
He's not married. Like, what the fuck do you know about somebody being married? Like, you can't speak on something unless you was married. You just try to insult her husband because you thinking he's weak, white guy. So you wouldn't have did that if she was rocking with somebody else, you know what I'm saying, of the culture. You'd have been very careful with your words, but you felt like you could bully home.
So you think this was more of a shot at the husband?
This is a shot to be relevant in hip hop, because to me the whole comment, like a lot of his comments are just he's saying things just to trigger. You know, you got a lot of that now. Like that, it doesn't even make sense what he's saying.
Okay, so just as a man, he don't have the right to say, yo, if I'm with a woman, I don't need you antagonizing.
How is she antagonizing? Yo, man, bro, like Serena Williams crip walks. That was a time where she comes from Compton. She grew up in Compton. She grew up in Compton before she met her husband. She represented Compton before she met her husband, and she showed that at the U.S. Open when she did it. Now it's a problem because the biggest artist in Compton and in the world want you to come on stage. If the husband doesn't have a fucking problem with it, then why are you opening your mouth? Shut up. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the type of commentating we don't need to just keep. Like, if there's problems, if there's real issues, speak on it. But there's no issues there. You're just you have a big platform and you're trying to ruffle some feathers. And you're trying to do it because you know the husband, he thinks the husband's like weak. I thought that he's weak for that. I didn't like that. And I'm gonna speak up for Serena's husband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Kendrick Lamar, staying on him for just a little while longer. Grammys just passed.
I know he was like this with the Grammys.
Yo, 5 joints.
Imagine coming from the Grammys right to the Super Bowl stage. I mean,
insanity.
I've been around hip hop all my life and since the inception. And man, it's just proud to see that we're getting recognized. Now, I know money has a lot to do with it. You know, when there was no money in hip hop, nobody gave a fuck. The Grammys didn't give a fuck, okay? Now that all this money's coming in from hip hop and advertising, and it's the thing, and it's the #1 influence of all kids and all colors, you know, but it's all right. These are the barriers that we had to break through, and we broke through them, and we're here now.
Yeah, I mean,
God is good.
God is really good. God is really good.
Yeah.
You know, keeping this on a positive note, I saw you actually congratulate Eminem on becoming a grandfather.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you seen that, huh? That's crazy, Prez. I just did it on, you know, I don't got too many followers. A lot of people don't even know my social media. So that's crazy that you seen that. I just wanted to do it, you know?
Okay. So, I mean, again, if God bless us, and we losing way too many good people in hip hop.
I just lost 2 close 40-year-old guys to me in their 50s from heart attack.
Wow. Yeah, we losing some good dudes. Like, if God bless you to live long enough, God willing, you mature, you see life through a different lens, and you've been going at Eminem for years. It ain't no secret. You have seen your share of wars. Eminem and Benzino, that thing y'all got going on is right at the top of your list. So when I saw that you actually took time out and congratulated this man, I looked at that as just a human moment.
Yeah.
I mean, your daughter is currently pregnant.
Imagine that. Imagine that. First of all, it's ironic because you remember that Eminem called me the grandpa of rap back then, because, you know, I'll be 60 in July, and I'm one of the oldest statesmen out here. I'm older than Jay-Z. I'm older than a lot of these guys by a couple of years. You know, so when I seen that he was having a grandchild, it was like, wow, that's kind of ill. It's like, you know, though me and Eminem's situation over all these years, one thing it's done is give me a connection to him, believe it or not. Like, there's a connection with this man that I'll never, ever be able to, like, lose. Whether it was negative, however it went, it's a connection. Now, we've never physically met each other. I've never had...
Hold on, whoa. You have never physically been in the same room as Eminem?
No.
Get out of here.
No. And you know, I've never had a connection with somebody that I've never met. I've never had a strong connection with somebody that I've never met. It's kind of a it's a different feeling because I've met thousands of people in my life. And this one man has so much of an impact on my life. And not meet him, not know him, is just a different lane that I don't know if anybody's ever experienced. So at that point, it was a human moment. You know, I know I could be in a room with him and just laugh and smoke or do whatever. Like, it's just, I just don't have any, there's not, first of all, a lot of my demons are gone. Meaning, you know, that anger. You know, I've managed to grow older and I've managed to kind of suppress it, worked on it. So I'm not perfect, but the Eminem thing is like, I have a connection with this dude and, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, any words, like you said, words with me, I'm a man that really forgets a lot of the negative. I can really put it on the shelf, man. It doesn't bother me because I have to worry about what's going on today. I don't have too much energy to worry about what went on yesterday, good or bad, good or bad. So, you know, man, one day, man, that'll be a great moment for us to meet. I think it will. It's just ironic that both of our daughters are both pregnant right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's just, I don't, you know, sometimes I try to think about the coincidences of life and I try not to put any I don't even think the word coincidence should exist. I just think God, my journey in God, I just think there's reasons for everything. And if him being a grandfather hasn't softened him up, and if Koi having her baby hasn't softened me up, then we're not human. And we gotta be able to move. We have to have set some type of example before one of us go. And that's me and him. And I hope he gets to see this. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people rode on our beef. A lot of people got emotionally involved in our beef. We're talking millions of people. And, you know, that means something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when people are vested in you that strong and emotional, and they have emotional ties to me and his relationship, then man, it would be good to, before we get up out of here and check out, to kind of shake hands and say, bro, it's love. You know? I would.
Yeah.
At this point, I would.
You know, I'm so happy to hear you say that because beef is just so prevalent in our communities where we come from and then in the industry where we work. You know, it's not like these guys don't come from the streets. It's not like they don't come from the hood. So you can't expect them, because now the world know their name, to be completely different individuals
right.
after my entire life.
It's a great point, Shawn.
We're touching on things like, you know, you're getting older, the humanness, forgiving.
I mean, it's God.
We just lost.
It's God. It has to be.
No.
Because
the greater point here. Go ahead.
Because I feel the change. I'm just kind of going on what you're saying. Like, you're right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel the change in myself. I never felt the change before. I felt like I was making strides to be a better person and to be more understanding and more patient and more empathetic, less judging, less angry. You know, but it had, because you don't change that. You just don't change from all that, because, you know, how I grew up, I've seen some gory shit. I've seen destruction and death like a good part of my life, and it became normal. It became to the point where it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? And I was just normal to that, not knowing that all that was trauma. I never knew what the word trauma meant. I didn't know. I just thought that was life, and I felt like I was living my life normal. I thought that was normal. Seeing my man's face blowed off, like with a shotgun, just his little eye hanging, you could see the skull. Like, my man Rock dying in my arms, you know what I'm saying, from a Gerber. Like, actually, I was holding him, blood all over. I mean, I've been through some through some, but it didn't make me check myself into a mental hospital. So I always felt like, well, maybe there's nothing the matter with me. But then as you go along and as you interact with people, and then you kind of see your faults and the things that are wrong with you through your relationships with other people. And I've grown old enough to look at my past relationships to understand that a lot of that was me. I can't point the finger at everybody. It takes two to tango, but I had to change myself, and I wanted to. I got a 9-year-old son, man. He brings out the time where I was just in the house watching Fred Flintstone. That Raymond, like Ray Ray. I was Ray Ray. He brings that out of me, and I like to feel like that. I like to go back to my innocence, man, because there was pockets of my innocence that I loved, and that's what Zeno brings to me. And I'm so happy he's in my life. But man, yeah, like you're right, Prez. All these things, because I noticed the difference in my conversation. I noticed the difference in the way my emotions are. I just, what I'm saying, man, it's just time to really not be scared to show other people that it's all right to stand down. You know what I'm saying? It's all right.
No, it's 100% okay to stand down. And it's 100% okay. Yo, my brother, we don't know what tomorrow holds. It's okay to say it's okay. I don't, real talk.
It's all right.
I don't have beef with you no more. I'm trying to better myself, my family. Yo, we just lost Irv Gotti, bro.
Man.
Like we just lost one of the great ones.
Irv was 54.
54 years old.
54.
This guy, and I'm looking at all of these clips that are coming out on him. People are celebrating his life. They're showing his accomplishments, but they're also showing what he had a 30-year beef with 50.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That never got resolved. Never got resolved. What did you think, real talk? I mean, and beef is beef, and we all know 50 Cent, and he takes beef very serious.
From the trauma he has, but go ahead.
Absolutely. But when Irv passed, he trolled him. 50 did what 50 does. He trolled him and, made light of the fact that this man, he's no longer here. Is it all fair in love and war? Or is that kind of crossing a line?
Well, the old me probably would have said it's all fair in love and war. The new me, because social media has such an influence over these kids growing up, and it just contributes to the destruction of our communities. Young kids are killing young kids at a daily basis. Young kids are killing older guys. This is happening on a daily basis, and we've all become so, hey, it's just another day. Like nobody's outraged when these young guys are killing and getting killed anymore. It's just it's become just part of our culture, and that is crazy to me. No other culture is going through this but us in America. And, it's not that we don't have leaders, but it's just the internet and rappers have such a strong influence that it kind of overshadows any type of leadership that we have right now. We had leaders back in the day, and that was only because the internet wasn't around. Now, since the internet is here and social media, it's kind of put them in the back. And it's sad, man. 50, first of all, I think we need to really stop. The word trolling, I think, is kind of the word that you could say and feel good about. When you watch 50 troll, you can, if trolling really is disrespect, let's call it what it is. Trolling is just a word that somebody used to put it in place of disrespect on social media, like kill, like they say unalive now. So instead of saying kill on social media or dead, they say unalive to kind of make it seem, I guess, soften it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little more palatable.
Well, trolling does that for disrespect. 50 is disrespectful. We're not gonna use, at least I'm not gonna use the word trolling in place of his actions and the shit he does. It's disrespectful. And nobody wants to be disrespected. Now, trolling softens it up to be like, oh, he's just trolling, so it softens it up. But it's not. Nobody didn't grow up in the hood and somebody came up and just said some sucker shit and be like, oh, he just trolled. Nigga end up shooting, get stabbed. You remember getting stabbed, jumped. We fought for our respect in the streets. The only thing we had, we didn't have no money, we didn't have shit. So the only thing that we figured that we had something to fight for is my respect as a man. And we've been fighting for that since slavery. So when it gets to these neighborhoods, these hoods that we still haven't got out of, that we're still in, that every other race that came in America done did their time in the hoods and then jumped out, that we're still in after all these years, respect is key, that we respect one another. And 50 doesn't respect anybody. And when you look at 50's coming up, and it's, people say it's not an excuse, but it is an excuse. 50 came up fucked up. We all did, right? Some know how to handle it better. He's not handling his trauma good. See, now I know what trauma is. I've been to therapists. And now I understand that those things that I thought were normal were not normal. And that they were just being suppressed inside of me. And that's why I have outbursts of crying, because I didn't cry at all when I was young. I just have so much unpacked trauma and so much diabolical shit that happened in my life that it comes out in times that I don't even know, because I'm just a human being. 50, I don't think has done the necessary steps to get over his trauma, because you can't be that old doing the shit you do. You're doing kid shit. You're doing stuff to get laughs, clicks, and comments, at the result of somebody else's demise. He does it to Jay-Z, does it to Diddy. We never laughed at anybody that the folks got, that the folks put behind bar. We never did that. Not even our enemies. I had, in Boston, we was gangs. And gangs was right down the street. That gang was right down the street, and that gang, so we're gonna fight forever. But when somebody got locked up, we didn't cheer for that. They end up getting, the thing is, in jails, you end up getting locked up with guys that you've been beefing with or gangs you've been beefing with for years, and you become friends in jail. Ain't that a bitch? Out here, we're trying to kill each other, but they put us in their system, hey, and now we become friends. What type of backwards ass shit is that? So we got a lot of work to do, but the work doesn't help when one of the biggest guys out there with the biggest platforms is constantly tearing down black men, successful black men. What message is that sending out? So all these guys successful and you don't like them and you want to tear them down? I've never heard nobody win at 50, other than the Irv and Ja Rule thing, because that's a Queens thing, that's their block thing, that's their beef comes from their hood. So a lot of people around the world might not understand it other than just the rap shit going back and forth, but they have real beef that goes beyond just them. Like there's bodies that have dropped because of that beef, not necessarily the Ja Rule 50 cents. That's a little part of what they went through in Queens with a lot of other people. I just don't think that what he does, I think what he does is hurting hip hop. I think what he does hurts hip hop and it hurts our communities. There's no joking about death. There's no joking about black men being in jail. You gotta draw the line somewhere. He doesn't. And what disappoints me the most, even more than him, because that's just him. And mind you, this is a guy that I actually helped. Didn't know. He ran down to my studio, was bleeding, called him a car service and got him to the hospital. I didn't know him from a can of paint. But the type of person I was, even back then, if it was you, Shawn, Prez, I would have called it for you. So, I just don't think that, I just think the people that are on social media laugh and comment kind of in his favor. I think that's what keeps his lights on. That's what keeps the gas in his vehicle going, is them. You know what I'm saying? He reads the comments and he sees people, and as long as and he's not the only one that does this, but as long as people are psychologically kind of like warped with this social media thing, because their motivation comes from comments from people. And that is crazy, from strangers. And I think the biggest mistake the social media is doing right now, it's putting common people, and we're all common people, but once you have a talent level and you perform and people love you, whether it's acting, whether it's talking, whether it's rapping, singing, whatever it is, playing an instrument, whatever it is, you earned that. So now that does separate you from a common person, all right? The internet is making it common to now be famous, a common person to be famous, a person that has no talent other than trying to say some shit or do some shit to get clicks and comments. Now 50 is beyond that. 50 his career has been an amazing career. Acting, producing, rapping, all at major high level. Why the fuck do you always have to fucking start trouble with everybody and continue trouble with guys with your peers? That's bitch shit. That's hoe shit. I don't see how he was lasting this long doing it. You know what I'm saying? I think it has to stop. At some point, it got to stop. You think that the shit he said about Irv when he died, you think Irv's kids, you don't have any empathy for his kids? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? You don't, and I understand, I guess, the relationship with his kids. He's a different type of guy. And you got to understand this too. These last 10, 20 years, 50 was out there on the block at one time. You have a freedom of moving around. Now, his freedom isn't the way it was anymore. So maybe he thinks, hey, look, I'm never gonna run into this guy, or I could, I got some guys around me that could be my shooters, and that's just as worse, man. You causing problems, too many problems. And at some point, you have to mature. You gotta do what I did and mature and just let shit go, man. And you still gonna have, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a thing, like, I know his ego's out of control, but when you look at men like that, from me being in the hood, those type of niggas, because there's niggas like that in the hood, these are the niggas to me, who I don't know, man, they just had a jealous type of spirit or envious spirit with other niggas when it come to women. Because there's really no other reason to be jealous of a man for a man to be man, unless it's his ability, unless the man that you're jealous over are envious. Because you got money, you got everything you want, but why are you jealous over this one? Because of a man's ability to attract women naturally, without money. Some people have to work real hard to get that attraction. You would think that with all his success and money, that he would be so calm and cool and collective in his ways that he wouldn't have to go at the next nigga. Like there's an underlying thing that we're not seeing psychologically that maybe he needs to go unpack with some therapists.
I could be wrong, but I think it was Vlad. I saw an interview and Vlad was like, yo, to be fair, I think 50 feels that Irv really did have something to do with him being shot.
Right.
And Vlad was like, yo, most people would feel the same way if they was in 50's position.
Right.
Is that a real statement?
I got shot by my nephew. It's over now. So I'm not gonna be trolling or disrespecting or saying shit. It's over now. I survived it. You chalk it up to the streets. You gotta let it go. Either let it go or do something. It's either or. You gotta go do something to him or let it go. I chose to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I firsthand can answer that. You know what I'm saying? I've had beef with guys in Boston that now we're super cool, where people have died. A lot of guys in Boston, I'm proud of them because we all came up with that mentality, but now a lot of guys got jobs now when they're older and they don't feel in guys who they would never talk to from the block, because when you have gang wars, right, there's somebody from each block is gonna be dead. So for years to go on and then somebody from those two blocks to get together and be cool, that's growth, bro. Listen, man, we all didn't sign up for this. These are the conditions that we unfortunately are in. But we don't have to continuously to live by this type of animalistic behavior. At some point it has to stop. It's the only way that we're gonna be better and make sure that our kids are gonna be better. I don't wanna walk around and being Benzino, tough and gay and all that. I'm trying to be as soft as I can so he can see me that it's okay. Don't never be a sucker, never stand on, protect yourself. But just, love people, man. Love as many people as you can.
What's your thoughts? I mean, just sticking on 50, and 50 always 50's like Trump. 50's like Trump, 50's like Kanye. They always gonna give you something to talk about. 50 called out Big Meech. Big Meech came home. I think he did something like 20 plus. Meech took a picture with Ross. They was gonna do a welcome home concert. And 50 immediately did 50. He put up a picture with a rat and said, I think I'm Big Meech. Again.
Disrespectful.
Is it all fair?
Now, you already know that answer, Shawn. Like, my thing is, 50 was a Meech fan. Let's make it clear. 50 couldn't, everybody wanted to be a Big Meech. Everybody wanted to be on the block and do what Meech did. There's no question. Whether that's the right type of thinking or not, we're not gonna talk about that. But you can best be clear, 50 wanted to be a Big Meech. He just wasn't able to do it. He didn't accomplish it. But guess what, Curtis? You accomplished something being a rapper. So just take that. It wasn't in you to be a Big Meech. You didn't survive. You almost didn't survive that. It wasn't in you, but so he was a fan of, admired Big Meech. So he comes and rushes and says, hey, I want to do the story. He didn't care about Tammy Cowens then, right? And got his son, put him through acting school, got his son to play it, his dad. Like, how dope was that? So he does something so amazing just to fucking ruin it because of his emotional traumas. Again, mad because this nigga took a picture or is doing business with somebody that you don't like. This is what you do? Oh no, bruh. No, man, he's a man trapped in a kid's mentality. He has a man's body trapped in somebody who's probably 22, 23. That thinking that's not a man thinking. Like 50's what? 50's almost 50 now?
50 is 50, I believe.
Yeah, 50's 50. So, what the fuck is that? Like, there's so many layers of that are bullshit and fucked up, bro. Like, first of all, we all know the Murder Inc. thing that he did. Now, this snitching thing, everybody has content now. And I don't even like to, at this point, what people got to understand, the guys that made up this system, the feds and everything, this is what they wanted. They knew that, see, the RICO and shit like that, they knew that, and I'm gonna get back to the 50 thing, but I just want to get this out. Like, in a RICO, Shawn, and we talked about this, in a RICO, you gather up a lot of people. The man, they already know who the man with all the shit, and who's the leader, and they know that if they get him, the rest of these are really nothing. The rest of the guys, because they're getting everything from him, the money, the drugs, whatever it is. They know once they go to the little guys first, that if they already offer them, right, deals, once you offer them a deal, that automatically goes against the man on the top anyways. So even though you're not in your mind saying, yo, he did this and he did that, once they say, look, we got you guys on a RICO, we're gonna give you 10, automatically. But if you work with us a little bit, we'll knock it down to nothing or 1. All right, let's go. So I'm bringing that up because this snitching thing and the way they've done it, and now how it's got into social media and into the hip hop culture is so chaotic and so out of control. It's to the point where motherfuckers don't even know who snitched, how snitched, if they snitched. At this point, it's just best for motherfuckers to just leave the streets alone. I mean, honestly, because you got to understand, from when I was in the streets in the 70s and 80s to now, the police and the feds got a network of snitches now that it's almost like, just like they got cameras on every block, it's almost impossible. So, I mean, you got to be a real, somebody that has been under the radar to really get out there and do your thing like we was doing back in the day. It just doesn't exist. And I know the motherfuckers who are still doing it probably, look, I'm still making money, but ultimately it's just not going to last because there's too many, the social media and all that. So Meech went and did 20 fucking years. 20 years that man did. I'm not talking 3, for. 20 years is murder years. That man did 20 years of his life locked up in a fucking cell, eating slop, with motherfuckers telling him what to do, spread your ass cheeks and cough. 20 years of that. 20 years of beating your dick. 20 years, this. So he comes out now in this Tammy Collins thing. Now, I've been through the system and all this shit. I done, listen, feds and it. One thing I do know without even trying to get so integral in it, Tammy Collins didn't do a day. A fucking day. And I'm sure Tammy had some type of something with the feds before she even met Meech. There was something that Tammy was doing that Tammy knew before she even met Meech. So however that went, third, fourth party, this, that, the third, I'm not concerned with none of that. I know homie just did 20 years. And then this is what I also know. I knew, right, and I hope Meech watches this. I knew when 50, and eventually I'm gonna try to go visit Meech. Me and Meech are cool. I knew 50, 50 knew about that situation with Tammy Collins and all that. Everybody did. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? He didn't give a fuck. He wanted to make money and exploit the situation. Plus, he was a fan. Now, because this man takes a picture with Ross, you go and do this. Number one, it's dangerous, homie, because Meech is loved. He's loved. He's loved. And number two, it shows how weak you are. Like, that's some like shit. That's some female shit. Like, females do that. That's how females do. Like, nigga, you ain't going with this nigga. And the industry is made up of, like you said, since there's so much beef, if we didn't network business-wise, if men wasn't men, then motherfuckers would be fucked up because a lot of people don't like a lot of people in this industry, but they still do business with them. And that's the way to go. It's not about, like, just get the business done. You know what I'm saying? This is legal money. Let's all make it so we don't have to go back and lose our fucking freedoms. So, that's 50's full of shit. And once again, all the people, man, fuck that. Meech should have been loyal to 50. And me, how the fuck do Meech? So Meech owes 50 life loyalty because he did. Motherfuckers was gonna do that show anyways, with or without 50. The BMF show was gonna get told. BMF, 50 made a great decision, made a great business move, and he did it. He don't owe that nigga. You're on DJ Vlad. Vlad's giving you an opportunity. You don't necessarily owe. If Vlad doesn't like me, and I say, hey, Shawn Prez, I got this. Something that doesn't have to do with him. Hey, man, I'm getting ready to do this limousine service, man. I want you to come in on me, man. Just get this money out. But you know what I'm saying? We can, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can't get mad at that. Like, you can't get mad if you getting money with me because me and him don't rock. And when you look at this, 50 is cool with Snoop. Snoop was dissing the shit out of Eminem at one time. We're in a pick and choose society. Niggas know who to pick and choose to benefit them. All right? And I'm gonna move forward and say, Ross knew what he was doing when he went. Ross is another great businessman. He knew what he was doing when he was going to drop that bag on Meech. He necessarily wasn't doing it. I mean, I can't say that he wasn't doing it because he wanted to help him, because I can say he did. He made that song and everything. Ross, another one that admired Meech, right? But he knew that it was going to fucking make some waves with 50. He knew the reason he was doing this also was to get at 50. And I wish these two grown-ass, millionaire-ass men would just put this little bullshit-ass beef. These niggas ain't nobody got killed in Ross's family because of 50. Ain't no one got killed in 50's family because of Ross. These niggas need to put that shit aside. Enough is enough, because that shit's getting kid shit again. All right? We know y'all are killers. We know y'all got killers. Money, well, then act like a man then. If y'all so men and down with this shit, then act like men and squash that shit. Because that shit ain't helping nobody. And for sure, it's putting Meech in a horrible position. This man's in a halfway house. So he can't talk the way he want to talk and say because I know he's not happy with this. He can't be. But he don't want to get caught up in their bullshit, because that's not even real beef. Like, come on, I'm just not, man, I'm cut from a different cloth than these niggas. I just am. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many niggas you killed. I'm still cut from a cloth of at the end of the day, righteousness and man shit. And if I, and like I said, I've worked on myself to think about it. I want them to work on themselves. Because ultimately you have a platform and these young kids are looking at you. Stop giving the wrong message. That's where you're rich. You can't bring all that money with you when you die. Steve Jobs died. He's gone, right? He couldn't bring all that with him. Once you die, we the same now, homie. All that, everybody calm, broke, or showing what you got just to build your ego up and showing people, that shit ain't it. Your character is how you judge a man. And if you want to leave this earth and make a difference, fuck how many cars you got, Ross. Fuck how many shows you produce in 50. Come out here and squash that beef and show these young niggas out here to put these guns down, stop killing each other. That'll be a major statement. Y'all want to leave some legacy shit? Leave that. Because the shit y'all doing now is just some bullshit. That shit that shit ain't nothing. That ain't like, I know, maybe y'all are thinking that shit is hot, it's cool, because again, these bozo-ass commenters that you don't know who the fuck they are is hyping y'all up. But if y'all want to really leave some legacy man shit, some real Malcolm X Martin shit, man, squash that beef. Shake hands, man, and move on with your lives. Because other than that, man, go down in history like that ain't a way to go down in history. That's just my opinion.
Nah, you talking so much true facts. And I really want to get your take on, because I was a little surprised. I guess he had to do it, but I was surprised that Meech responded. I mean,
he didn't respond the way he wanted to respond, trust me. I know.
No, I'm crystal clear. I'm clear. How do you even think this thing ends? Because Meech, he didn't make his money in hip hop. He didn't make his money legally. Let's just call it what it is. Meech, we know him because he did it next level on the streets. He's still a man.
Right.
How does this end?
We're gonna have to wait and see, Prez. We're gonna have to wait and see. Like, unfortunately, like we always have to wait. I mean, unless somebody with some type of fucking, half a brain on their head steps in and said, bro, like, enough. Things get too fucking far before you can say enough, and then maybe it's gotten there, but it's not good. It's not good, and I don't know. I like walking through the airport by myself. I like going places by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not good at looking behind my back. I'm not good at that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these niggas can't walk by themselves and go anywhere. So I don't know.
The concert is canceled.
Goofy shit.
I don't know the true reason why the concert was canceled. I don't know if a lot of the acts pulled out. But be it as it may, something that was supposed to help get this man back on his feet, something that was supposed to be historic in nature, it's not happening.
It's not happening. Yeah. I mean, even if you can't, even if 50 didn't call down there and say, yeah, man, a bomb's going to blow up, even if he didn't do that, just his actions on the internet and all the attention and the negative attention that he drew on the concert, that enough, to me, makes him responsible, to me. I mean, if he didn't come out with all this shit, the concert still be going on. He's the one that didn't want Skilla Baby. Probably one of the biggest artists in Detroit right now, Meech from Detroit. Of course, Skilla Baby, that's great for you to go show homage to Meech, especially you, a young nigga coming up. Do you know how good that is for the city and you? And now all of a sudden, 50's his manager and says you can't go? Again, 50's putting him, 50 doesn't have to be with Skilla in Detroit all the time. 50's putting him in a bad position. Now, why would you want to do that to that young nigga? Now, not only you're still continuing with this immature behavior, if I could just clean it up, but you throwing it up. But now you throwing your negative shit on an artist when you're supposed to be a manager and you're supposed to be uplifting them. I don't see how anybody could be an artist under 50. I just don't. The man got too much beef and too many problems. How the fuck can you flourish and progress with that type of management?
Let me be devil's advocate. Let me look at it from 50's side, right? 50 got extreme. Like, we could say what we want about 50. But one thing, I mean, and I'll be the first one to say, damn, bro, you too old for this.
Yeah,
I'll be the first one to say that, right? But here's something else Shawn Prez would say. That nigga show extreme loyalty to the people he loyal to. He do.
Who?
Okay.
He didn't show it to Game. He didn't show it to Young Buck. He didn't show it even, not Yayo, the other one, Lloyd Banks. The guys in G Unit, he ain't showed no loyalty for. I'm trying to think, who did he show loyalty for? Okay, and like I said, if we go by his loyalty, he's super cool with Snoop, and Snoop said a bunch of shit about him. So again, and I don't want to say that to start up anything because it wasn't even that serious. I'm just saying by his own theory of loyalty, like he doesn't show loyalty to the guys in G Unit. Like I ain't never like he could have thrown Banks in an episode of one of them episodes or something. He's. Don't get it twisted, man. Like, I don't see
But hold on, Ray. We don't know what happened behind the scenes with these dudes. We don't.
And that's why you can't say about, okay, well, you need to give me an example of 50 in loyalty. He didn't show loyalty to his son. Give me an example of 50 in loyalty. Just one example. One.
Yayo.
Yayo?
Yeah.
No, Yayo's not a good example. Like,
why not?
Because it's almost easy to show loyalty to somebody you grew up with. Show loyalty to somebody that got on with you and helped you. And Yayo, like the way 50 treats Yayo, 50 doesn't treat Yayo like the best now. We all need a Tony Yayo to cheer us on and just look at us like that. I don't want that. Me with my guys, look, I got a big ass crew in Boston. Still to this day, that got dumb love for me, right? I mean, we talking a lot of guys and really across the country. My theory of things are, you meet people, you treat them good, you break bread with them. Later on in life, you're gonna be all right with them, because that's what I've always done. You know, I never. It could have been easy for me to take the leadership role up with me and my guys, but my shit was always, I want to be shoulder to shoulder with them. I don't never want these guys to be around women or somebody, and I'm looking like I'm the big dog. I never did that. I never did that, because that doesn't work out good. I always treat myself, no matter how much money I got, no matter what I got, shoulder to shoulder. I am not better than you, all right? You know, he's not that type of guy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think, shit, Yayo should be in a way better position than what he is all them years. I don't think 50's blessed Yayo. If going by what you're saying, with the loyalty Yayo shown him, it's not like Yayo got a lot from that. You know what I'm saying? I would think that you would have a lot more being that loyal.
Number one, I don't know what Yayo got in the bank. I don't. But here's what I do know.
We know we know he don't. I mean, listen, I'm sure there's people.
Here's what I do know, and trust me when I tell you, I'm not defending this man.
He's not putting Yayo in too many positions either. I mean, Vlad's putting Yayo in a position. 50 ain't. So I don't know, you know, but even if Shawn, that okay, he grew up with Yayo, give me somebody else. Because Yayo, we could expect that. Give me someone else.
Okay, I'll talk about it. Okay, but it's a lot of people that me and you might know that the rest of the viewers don't know. People behind the scenes,
Prez,
like
unless you give
all of them dudes, over at This Is 50, them dudes been working there for 100 years. I don't know that place produces one dime of income. DJ Envy, that's his man.
Prez, listen.
Go ahead.
Again, like, you know, we don't know. We don't know. All right, so that we can't say he's loyal. You know what I'm saying? I just know that he starts a lot of unnecessary beef and disrespect amongst the culture, and there's no reason for it.
Nobody will argue that.
Well, to me, that's his biggest contribution right now. He hasn't any music out. There's no new shows out. Right. The man should be worried about putting some shows coming out of this big Shreveport thing that he did down in Shreveport. Why ain't he focusing on that? We ain't heard no more about that. And this is another thing I want to bring up. The way how he's using Lil Meech, that was fucked up. Again, these are things that men don't do. This is why he wasn't in position out there in the streets to be a leader, because the things that he's doing now, niggas don't do that shit. Leaders don't do that. You don't put the texts out. This man's basically saying, look, man, you helped me out. You're putting it out there to draw a wedge between him and his father. What the fuck is that? You don't do that. And mind you, we don't even know if these shows was coming out anyways, because 50 and Stars was beefing like a motherfucker. So we don't even know if BMF was coming back out under Stars. See, now, so he's gonna use that as an excuse to say, you know what, because of what your father did, no more BMF. Nigga, Stars wasn't already fucking with you. Because of what you, Omari Hardwick, arguably the reason why you blew up with your shows was him. Shitted on him. Where was the loyalty to him? I don't know. Hey, I just see things, I've been out in the streets all my life. I know what loyalty is. My father, one of the greatest man in my life, you know what I'm saying? Believe me, he taught me well. You know, me and 50 are cancers. I'm not like him, and he's not like me.
But before this moment, did you and 50 ever have any public beef?
Me and 50, I told you my first meeting with 50 was when he ran in my studio bleeding from being stabbed up in the beef with John and them at the studio up the street. Called him a car service and got him up out of there. Like, let's say I didn't do that. Let's say that I don't know if he had money to get in a cab or whatever, but if he's roaming down the street, let's say John's coming down to get ready to gun his ass down. He ducked off in my studio, hid there for a fucking little quick 15, 20 minutes, half hour, and then he went to the hospital at a car service that I called him. So we just inherited, when me and Eminem got into it, he just, okay, I'm gonna be loyal to Eminem and I'm gonna go against Zeno too. That's all that was. I ain't had no fucking beef with him. I helped him. So I don't know, you know? I don't know. I know he has major influence. I know he's done amazing things in hip hop. I think that his legacy is gonna be tainted with the way he's going now. I think the things that he's doing with the Irv Gotti, you know, saying stuff about Irv's death, and then this thing about Meech, I think it really is opening people's eyes to see who 50 really is. And I think even a lot of fans and casual fans are looking at him in a different light. I think he needs to change his way up, man. It's never too late to change. It wasn't too late for me. And let's make it clear. Let's make it clear. I ain't got no beef with him, man. I ain't got no beef with him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's ever too late for anybody to change. And before we move this thing on, I think that's half of the reason you feel the way you feel. 50 been 50. This nigga been the exact same dude since he burst on the scene, what, 03, 04? It's just that it hasn't been a change. But we can't say we didn't know who this guy was.
He's hip hop's accepted villain. You know how like in Marvel Comics, people love the villains too. Like love them. Yeah. And they're just as big as the heroes. So he's taking on the villain role. That's all.
Yeah, I think taking on the villain role, it works, clearly. You know, we're in hip hop, but if you look at prize fighting, Floyd Mayweather was Pretty Boy Floyd, and he was doing his thing as Pretty Boy Floyd. But when he became Money Mayweather and he took on that villain role, them checks got a whole lot bigger.
Yeah.
The world took notice.
All money ain't good money. And I had to learn that. All money ain't good money. You know, we gonna be dead a lot longer than we living. This is preseason, baby. People have to know that. You know.
Damn, hold up. I love that. You said we're going to be dead for a whole lot longer than we've been living. This is just preseason.
That's it.
Talk that talk, Ray.
It's true. You better clean it up. You know, everybody better clean it up. Because, you know, what's going to happen is after you, you know, and it's going to be the name you leave amongst the living. You know, it's the name you leave. It's what you want to be known for. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be known for like the hothead against Eminem or the guy that ruined the Source or I don't want to be known there. Before I'd be like, man, I don't give a fuck what somebody thinks. But at this point, I want, you know, when I go, I want my kids to be proud of who their father was. And I want to clean up any misconceptions and take responsibilities for anything that I've done that was deemed a little shaky, a little wrong, you know, so, or a lot wrong. And you know what I mean? And I'm happy with going out like that. You know, I'm in my fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying? 60, you know, it's crazy because a lot of my guys ain't reaching 60. A lot of our guys ain't reaching 60.
Absolutely not.
Irv, I look at it as a kind of a bigger thing in our culture and our community as far as taking care of yourself and your bodies. Eating right. You know, Lord knows I party, did drugs, all that shit, hard. Big portion of my life. A lot of the drugs like heroin, cocaine, Molly, stuff like that, these have long-term effects on you. When you start looking at lean and Molly, now lean and Molly, you know, cocaine's the upper, so cocaine gets you up. Lean and Molly get you down. Molly is something that has like uppers, downers, sideways, like you're all over the fucking place with Molly, right? When you're taking these things all over and over and over and over, you're not working out. You're not getting that blood rushing through. The reason why people have heart attacks is because there's blood clots in your veins by many different reasons. That's why exercising, just walking, you got to keep the blood flowing because when it becomes lethargic, here's where things start happening. When you get older and in your 40s and 50s and 60s, you better get your ass out there on the trail in the street and walk and light jog on a treadmill. Get your ass in LA Fitness because you will pay for it later. All the partying and drugs, sleep is another thing. You don't get sleep when you're doing drugs and everything. Your whole insides are just, it's only a matter of time before that bitch is gonna stop. And not just Irv, but a lot of us, you know, we party hard. And you know what I'm saying? It's not too late to turn it around. I don't know if Irv was taking the necessary precautions. I guess it was too late. I don't know if he was going to the gym. You know, but Irv partied hard. He was a party animal. You know what I'm saying? Drugs in the industry and clubs and just our culture is almost just as Kentucky Fried Chicken or as Popeyes. You know what I'm saying? Drugs has been a part of our culture. We sell them and we do them. And if you don't come to your terms with your health, then believe me, your health will come to terms with you. And you know, I feel bad for his kids. He had just made a major fucking deal, got a bunch of money for his catalog. He didn't have to work or do nothing else the rest of his life. Generational money for his kids' kids. So he did his job, man. He's definitely a legend in the game, and he did his job. You know what I'm saying? But you know, at 54, no, that's way too young, man. And I hope the guys out there, especially the guys with money, there's no excuse. Stop being lazy. Get your ass in the gym. Go to the gym every other day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the best shape of my life. 60 years old, I'll be 60 in a few months. I'm in the best shape of my life. You could turn it around. It starts here first, but then once you start seeing the results, you start being, and this takes no money, little $30, $40 a month gym, and you'll start feeling better about yourself. Drinking. People think just because drinking ain't drugs that I could drink. Man, that shit ages you. I see guys now that have been drinking. I see them now. I mean, these guys in their 40s, and I look younger than them. Drinking fucks your liver up, and it does something to the aging process. So all that drinking ain't good either. Somebody has to say it. So maybe me saying it, you know what I'm saying, can, you know, hope. You know, I was in Memphis one time, and I forgot where I was, and there was a cop, black cop, looked like he was in his 50s, 60s. He walked over to me. I said, oh, shit, because I think I was smoking a blunt. And I didn't see him coming, but he was doing security for the bank. He said, man, I just want to tell you, man, you inspired me to get in the gym. He said, I lost 35 pounds, and look at me. I said, oh, man, You know what I'm saying? I said, man, good job. He said, keep doing your thing, all right? Don't worry about what anybody says. I said, man, he hugged me and God bless. But that was big for me. I didn't know I inspired a motherfucker to go to the gym. And I know that that's worth more now. When you can actually, when people actually, you help them in a way, you can't put a price on that. And that's why I would love to see 50 change, because, man, he would be such a help to the community, because so many people follow him, especially these young guys. These young guys need better role models, man. We need it. In 2025, the word isn't getting across to these guys. It was getting across to us in the 80s, 70s, and 60s. It still was. These guys ain't, you got a Farrakhan, you know what I'm saying? Farrakhan, man, his flowers, how many lives of black men from the streets that he saved, not changed, saved. This is the type of shit that the rappers now are the Farrakhans, and they don't even know it. And if you could somehow, with everything else you're doing, just throw a little bit of word in there for these guys, man, you could help so much more. And, you just can't put a price on that. Don't cost nothing.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yo, Ray, I keep hearing you mention kids, generations. Where are you at with your daughter?
Oh, man, Prez, I don't want to say too much, because the thing was, we had a pact not to talk about each other anymore. And then, I want to honor that. But I do realize that when she said that she's pregnant, that people are kind of like, hey, you're a grandfather, and I'm happy about that. All I can say is that that's in God's hands right now. And I'm sure when, God gives me when he gives me the message, that it's going to be good, then that's when, the world will know for sure. But that's pretty much all I can say about that, because I don't want to get her upset.
Okay. We'll leave Coy alone, and I'll respect that.
And congratulations, though.
Yeah, congratulations. Yo, I don't know if it was an interview I saw with you. What is this? And this might be old. You revealed that you slept with something like 14 women in 1 weekend in Miami. Is that real?
Oh, you heard that? Damn.
Is that? Because I don't know if this is internet hyperbole. That's real.
I'm saying, that's when I was a wild boy, when we had the Source Awards.
Okay, but
in Miami.
are we talking 1 weekend?
It was from Thursday to Monday.
Here's a different question. Was these like professional? I
don't know because I'm with somebody right now. Ashley, I love you. That was the past. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was a wild boy, man. I was back. I was a wild guy, man. Like that. I think I bet somebody I could sleep with 21 women. It was the Source Awards week, and I got to 14. I lost the bet. You know what I'm saying? I think half of the women were women I already knew, and maybe the other half were new women. But there were thousands of women down there. I had millions of dollars, man.
Okay, but my question is, these wasn't professional, you paying for ass.
No,
regular chicks.
No, like I said, I was that nigga. Source Awards, like there was at one point in my life, Rock the Party, where everything was I was him. And it just, like I said, it was the weekend, so there was girls in bikinis everywhere. Drunk, drugs, it was wild as fuck, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like 7 of them I knew. I remember half of them. 7 of them I knew. And then, yeah, and I got guys who know this. I don't brag about that or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't get to 21, so.
All right, fair enough. Speaking of being a wild boy, yo, what is your take on Kanye West? Kanye just went on another rant. In my opinion, there are lines that you crossed that should never be crossed. He crossed it. Coming out and saying, yo, I'm a Nazi, doing a Super Bowl commercial, sending people to his website, only selling one item of merch, a Nazi shirt. Who the F does stuff like this?
See, people are going to look at me right now, and I'm going to be the example. Yeezys are the most, I've wore Adidas for 47 years straight. Never Nike or nothing. It was a Boston thing. It was some gang shit, and I just stuck with it. Got Adidas on now. when Yeezys came out, it was like the Lord blessing me, like just with the greatest sneakers ever, the greatest kicks ever. So me saying this is gonna kind of fuck up my chances to get a Yeezy box from Kanye. But he's wrong, man. Like, if somebody was gonna put out t-shirts, a white guy put out t-shirts with a noose on it, we'd be going fucking crazy. I got friends who are Jewish. And, you know, they take that Holocaust thing, which that's them, and listen, you can't take that from them. We take slavery, and that's us, and we can't take it from us. It's not a competition. You have to realize that of who suffered the most. We're here now, that's over with, let's move forward. Yes, you guys honor, you guys stay honoring, we have to honor ours, and life goes on. What Kanye's doing is just divisive. And the swastika shirt was just, I don't know where that came from, man. We know what Hitler did, bro. Like we know what Hitler did. And there are millions and millions and millions of people. And let's not worry about if the Jews run the bank and if they run the industry. Whatever they run, they paid their fucking dues to get there. Right? Whatever they ran, whatever they did to get there, they paid their dues. They wasn't always there because guess what? They was in the ghettos before everybody. Ghetto is a Jewish term. When they came to America, they was shit on like a motherfucker. But what they did was pull their resources and money together, didn't want to fuck with the outside of anybody else, which that's why Hitler didn't really appreciate them, because they was living in Germany and they wasn't contributing to, they was only really buying within themselves. So Hitler wanted to get rid of them. We know the story. Maybe some don't. But what we do know is that there's no time for that now. We've grown as a world and as a culture. We've grown as a world. And we can't keep going back. We can't keep going back and bringing those memories back up for people. Those traumas, again, traumas and triggers. We can't keep doing that. And that's what he's doing, man. There's something in him too. Trauma.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something, and then we can move this thing on. You're talking to a person who musically has loved Kanye West since he dropped his first mixtape, before he was accepted as a credible hip hop artist, when he was the producer trying to become relevant in hip hop. But, you know, I see this two different ways, or a couple of different ways, right? On one hand, he understands how to push America's buttons and stay on the top of your news feed, in the headlines, and have people talking about him. But the nigga crossed the line.
He's taking it too far. And like I said, man, I'm never gonna get my box of Yeezys now, but I gotta keep it 1,000. He's taking it too far. You gotta put your, and part of myself of changing is that of being less defensive. Like I was so defensive, and I have to be more empathetic, and I have to put myself in other people's shoes. When you do that, then you can kind of feel what they're feeling, not all the way. And then you could probably understand how you should understand their situation better when you put yourself in their shoes. A swastika is nothing we want to put on a t-shirt.
But you know something though, Ray? I wonder, and this is the second thing I was gonna say. Part of me feels empathy for him, because we're looking at the things that he do and he say, and we take him at face value. But this is not a guy who is mentally healthy. We are watching somebody with real mental illness. Real mental illness. There's people out there, we'll never understand it. They express their hatred to the world. They express the pain that they're feeling.
The traumas.
The mental illness. Their brain is not wired the same as normal people.
It's just that he knows how to make great music. It's just that he knows how to make great, like an athlete. He knows how to do great athletic shit, but some people just shouldn't open this right here.
But I really think that this man, we are watching someone have a mental breakdown, and we're jumping on top of this guy as we should. But I don't think he's in his right mind.
But if he doesn't,
I think that he should literally be forced to take medication, forced to go somewhere and get his mind right if it can be saved at this point.
I'm not a proponent of medication. I'm not a proponent of
this guy is not sane, Ray. He's not.
Well, I mean,
who would do something like what black person? Let's just keep it 100. What black person wakes up and identifies with a Nazi? Who does that?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I think
I don't even do crazy people know they crazy.
But I think a lot of it is driven by sensationalism. We live in a world of sensationalizing. If I do this, then I'm going to get everybody looking at me. Like a lot of that, like he's not doing it because he's a Nazi and he believes in Hitler. I can't believe that. He's doing it because it's for the shock value, not knowing how much pain and hurt and embarrassment that you're putting out there in the world. I can't believe that he's driven by. I can't believe by him doing this was driven by his love for Hitler, right? I just think more of it is because of what happened to him previously with the whole Jewish thing that happened and wiped out a big part of his money. And he came back and said, I don't even need you guys. I can do it myself, which he's doing. A lot of that's ego, and we know Kanye's ego has been out of control for a while. But you said it yourself, these guys can't be this way without an ego. This is where I'm saying where your ego separates from you and just gets out of control. And that's what's happening with Kanye. A lot of me doesn't think that he's so crazy as much as it is what social media has done to people. It's that attention bug, I think
I don't want to get this guy a pass.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't want to give him a pass
on
any level. Just hear me out.
It's wrong.
He's wrong. Me and you on this one, I really think that this dude, the way we think like normal human, because you can be around somebody who, if you're around them long enough, you like, yo, this person ain't all there.
I got you.
I think if you get close enough to that man, you'll understand, all of us will understand, he needs help.
Yeah, he needs to talk to somebody.
He needs real help. I think that this, I know you're not a proponent of medication, but I just think
medication makes it worse, man. I mean, only medication, see, when people think medication, you got all these different names for all these different drugs. It's just to put a motherfucker to sleep, really, just to calm his ass down. It's like what they do to animals. Anytime a nigga's acts hype, give him some medication, calm down. It's not changing. It's definitely not changing his fucking thought process. It's not changing the character.
But once, I mean, you can go since the beginning of time, whether it's Vincent Van Gogh, people lose their mind, right?
Right, you're right.
Medication, and these are clear geniuses. People that they've done extraordinary things
in their field. Geniuses in their field.
In their field.
Because there's a lot of fields.
In their field. But even moving this guy, and I can't wait to see her lawsuit. I can't wait to see her tell-all book. I can't wait to see her sitting on somebody's couch and saying, I was groomed and this man paraded me around with no clothes.
She want the attention too. See, again, Prez, a lot of this, because if social media wasn't here, none of this would even be happening. People people's minds are being conditioned and fried out here on an hourly basis by social media. And when Kanye does that, it's more to me for attention opposed to him being mentally fucked up. And she definitely wanted the attention. Like, I don't believe in that groom shit. That's a grown-ass woman.
I could not agree with you more that she was complicit. She wanted that attention, but I also know the world we live in. Whereas in real time, this man walks her down the freaking Grammy red carpet, butt naked, showing it all.
Hey, listen.
Trust me when I tell you, she's gonna play the victim card in about another year.
In the
guaranteed.
culture, and let me tell you about the culture. They're gonna be like, girl, bye.
No, you are wrong.
Watch.
They're gonna play this video back, and I guarantee you're gonna see people coming to this woman's aid.
Nah, I don't see it.
And to her side, yo,
not black women.
Yo, Benzino.
You ain't gonna worry about black women coming to a defense. You ain't gonna worry about them because again, they're gonna be like, please. No, you see, even though social media is making us worse, we are getting some goodness out of it to where that people are starting to see like, you doing that shit for clout. She did it for clout. She wanted to be Kim K. Like at the end of the day, nobody knew who she was. And when you look at it, who knows if she's a boxer, rocks, or whatever she is, because she don't open her mouth up. So we don't even know what type of intelligence this woman had because she wanted clout so bad by just dressing butt naked and dressing the way Kanye wanted. Ain't nobody put a gun to that woman's head. That woman I heard comes from like her family is like, she got a big family. She's just not out here by herself. She got a family of men that definitely could have stepped in and been like, listen, what the fuck are you doing with my daughter? You know what I'm saying? But no, we live in a clout-driven society and she wanted it and that's what she got. So now if you're gonna complain after the fact, ain't nobody wanna hear that shit. You had your tits out on the red carpet. Ain't nobody did that.
Yo, Ray, I don't disagree with one word you're saying. But I need you to understand we are now in 2025. And this woman, I can guarantee you on everything, is going to be sitting in a witness stand one day, pointing at him, talking about he groomed me. He made me dress like this.
How old is she?
He mind controlled me. I was under his control. He was a Spengali, and she's gonna get all of the
she was dictified.
She got the press now. She's a media whore. She could be whatever.
She got the man.
And she's gonna get it
you know
when she turns against this man. Guarantee you. Mark my words.
We'll see.
And she's gonna get a lot of sympathy. It's gonna be a lot of women. It's going to be a lot of
I think it's going to
people.
be too many black women having sympathy for it. We'll see. It's going to be good. We're going to see. We're going to come back to this.
Yeah, we're going to see.
We're going to come back to this.
I don't usually touch on this topic, but it feels, and I get beat up all the time. But I'm watching people turn on Diddy left and right, bro. I'm watching,
It's the same Drake theory we was talking about, though. Remember?
Absolutely. Even when we were talking about
it, you can only come
it was
down.
on the tip of my tongue to bring the man's name up.
Yeah.
But I watched. Did you have an opportunity to watch that? It's like 1,000 of them out now.
I won't do it. I just won't do it. My girl did. She watched all of them. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, fuck all that. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like. People are actually exploiting, making money with them documentaries, man. They ain't said shit on those documentaries. And if none of this came out, it wouldn't be no documentary. Like, no, motherfuckers would still be partying with Diddy. Listen, man, I can't do it. I can't be a hypocrite. Now, listen, if it comes out, we are a land of laws. He's locked up. He will go in front of a jury, and they will handle the fate of his life. Everybody else is just going to sit back and watch and have their opinions, and everybody's entitled to it. But we, like I told you, we live in a pick and choose society. If none of this came out and all these people who were so against Diddy, I guarantee you if they got an invitation one day to go to a party, a Diddy party, their ass would get their best motherfucking clothes, get a flight, and they would be there at the Diddy party. And that's a fucking fact. Every motherfucker who comments under this right here, you would have got an invitation before all this happened, and you would have been at the party. And that's just that. So it's easy to condemn a man after everything comes out. And listen, one thing about me, Prez, I've always been a ladies guy. I've been good to ladies. I've never drugged no woman to have sex. You know what I'm saying? I want a woman to be awoke and knowing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? The fuck I want her to be fucking sleep for. You know what I'm saying? So Diddy had some type, he had some type of sexual problem. He had some type of sexual problem.
It's clear.
Okay.
He
needed to go see somebody. If Diddy would have went and got help before all this, I believe this would have, Diddy, but a lot of us have sexual problems. A lot of us with drugs and sex and money. You know what I'm saying? Again, you go back to traumas and how Diddy grew up. You know what I mean? We're not making these excuses, but these are facts. He had a problem, and you know he's gonna pay for it. Whatever he did wrong is gonna come out. You know. Now, mind you, all these, there gotta be 2,000 lawsuits against him. These are all civil suits. Okay, so, you know, those ain't criminal. And there hasn't been. I mean, I don't know about. I heard about a superseding indictment, but as I know, it's just the same charge, just the trafficking, kind of like flying prostitutes over and paying them. Now, do you know how many motherfuckers would be in jail right now? No. Do you know, like...
No,
do you know 75% of the industry would be locked the fuck up right now?
Absolutely.
If flying a IG model... See, the thing is, a IG model. Let's say I flew an IG model, but she happens to be a prostitute, you know what I'm saying? But she's called an IG model. So the lines are blurred in so many ways here. So when I see people going against him with these blurred lines, I just sit back and be like, damn, these motherfuckers, boy, pick and choose. Pick and choose. You know, because again, you know, there's been things about him, you know, they'll come out. What I do know is that the feds, the way they work, the first line of people, Homeland Security, the first line of people that they questioned was everybody on those tapes. Was everybody that was on those tapes from 209 in his house. You're going to see people that you don't know because they're not celebrities. Let's say me and you are feds and we're going through the tapes. We're going to see people we know because they were celebrities. Those are the first person we're going to be calling. So the feds make calls to all these different celebrities who ain't saying shit right now. Maybe they're not allowed to. But there's motherfuckers who you're seeing on the internet every day that have gotten that call because they was at a Diddy party. Whether they was having sex with a fucking animal, whatever they was doing, or not, or just sitting there sipping champagne and not having sex, they were witnesses. And they got a call. That's how they work. So the 50 people that were witnesses, I'm sure they were the staff at the house and the people that they got on those tapes who was at his house who were celebrities. So you're gonna see a lot of celebrities that had to make deals with the feds testifying against Diddy that you're gonna be like, damn. It's almost gonna be like the Young Thug trial in a sense, but even worse. Because there's gonna be many celebrities who are, remember, the feds got 50 witnesses. These are 50 people who were once either on Diddy's payroll or got paid to come have sex or was just over having a good time in a party. 50 of them, all right? To go along with all the other ones that was suing him for just individual shit. But the 50 people they got as witnesses, a lot of them people are gonna be celebrities that are gonna be testifying against Diddy. Now my thing is, I'm sure Diddy's gonna be like, oh word, you're gonna testify against me? Well, I'm sure now that's why when you look at when Harvey did the interview with his lawyer, what I got out of that, the lawyer just wanted to go on there and say Diddy's gonna take the stand. So this way here, Diddy wants to let everybody know, if you're gonna say shit against me, oh, I'm coming for your ass too. So this is gonna be a very, very interesting trial. You're gonna see a lot of celebrities. You're gonna see celebrities in positions of sexual positions that are gonna like shock you. I'm sure you might see men having gay sex with somebody. I'm sure you're gonna see married men probably having straight sex with somebody. You're gonna be seeing a lot of scandals. It's gonna be the trial of the century because of all the shit that's gonna come out. But yeah, you're gonna, it's not gonna end at that trial. Trust me.
Well, here's what I will say. I'm gonna say a couple of things. You know, and maybe I'm just naive to the law. Criminally, I don't see a smoke. Like if they could charge him with beating up Cassie, okay. You as guilty as the day is long. We all saw it. We were all disgusted by it.
But Cassie should have filed charges on that.
Fair enough.
And he would have been locked up if the tapes would have came out.
Yes, fair enough. But all of the rest of this stuff that has been piling on, I mean, this guy has a RICO case against him. How do you have a RICO case and ain't nobody else been charged?
Yeah,
I mean, they're calling it a criminal enterprise.
And
it's only one person. Like, I don't understand this.
Well, you will see that there's going to be guys who was super close to Diddy that's getting ready to testify against him that was going to be a part of that, but the Fed said either you come testify against him or you're going to be a part of it. You're going to see a lot of guys come out getting ready to testify against Diddy, his friends.
Well, here's what I will say.
Close friends.
I'm waiting to see who these guys are. I will be the first one to tell you because I know the man. I'm not gonna say Puff was. I could say a lot of things about this man, but much of what I'm seeing, nah, I never saw that side, bro. I never saw this man spike drink. He didn't need to. All of this drugging people, he didn't need, like, with.
Unless he got his rocks off by doing that. A lot like,
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right.
But there were few people in this man's close circle. People who I don't see in these documentaries and tell-alls. Now, I can't say what happened behind closed doors. Nobody knows what happened in each of our bedrooms. But the truth of the matter is,
business, and I don't even want to know. By the way,
yeah, but you know, there's gonna be people who are pissed off with Puff because they feel as though he wasn't as loyal to them as they were to him.
There we go.
And that's fair, and that is true. And Puff sitting, if he's hearing this, he would know, yo, you know what, man? I could have did better by a lot of people. But one thing Shawn Prez can say, nah. So many of these allegations, bro, I can't say what happened, didn't happen in that man's bedroom. But I ain't never seen nothing close to this, kid. I never seen nothing close to it.
You can best believe.
And to think that a man could go away for the remainder of his days for freak-off parties that by people's own words were consensual, I don't understand. You know, he's a freak. He has a sexual problem, and he might not even be the nicest person in the world. To me, I mean, even and I love Bonds, right? I love my brother Bonds. I do. I love Bonds. I interviewed him on this platform many a time. Bonds is my man. He's my brother. And it's crazy because Bonds got every
Bonds is
reason.
Fighting cancer now, so let's all pray for Bonds.
Pray for Bonds, absolutely. F cancer. He got every reason to feel the way he feel because he was there for a man, and through Bonds' eyes, yo, bro, all I asked you to do, it didn't even cost you no money. I'm just asking you to bring light to my son's situation. That's it.
He didn't do it.
You could have put a couple of posts up.
Diddy was filed for that.
Stand by me. 1,000,000%. Puff was wrong for that. I would tell Puff this to his face. But what I wouldn't do, I wouldn't sit here and make this man out to be Hannibal Lecter. He got a lot of flaws. But I don't think that this man deserved to be facing life in prison.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to be facing life, you know. I don't know if the charge of because remember, he's going to get his
right now, he's literally facing life. If he's convicted on all these charges, bro, that's life. Puff ain't coming home.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. I think it's a mandatory minimum of 15.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If he blow trial.
Right.
Okay, I mean, that's a mandatory minimum. That's not to say if he blow trial with all them charges.
I'm saying, let's say he gets 15 years, man. Plus 50, listen, man, look. One thing we do know is, man, black men do time. So he could still get out here and he could still get out here, you know what I'm saying, and have some life. But, you know, Prez, look, at the end of the day, we do know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That a man's sexual problem can lead to some really fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get a hold of it. And a lot of people were damaged behind it. We do know that. We do know that some people are going to be going for a money grab. But also, we do know, based on everything now, like, can't everybody be lying. Now, yes, that's not him killing that person or anything, so it's not going to deserve a life sentence. We're just going to have to wait and see, Prez. We don't know what's going to happen. It'll all come out in a trial, man, you know?
Now, it'll all come out in trial, and, you know,
I don't think if he gets convicted, he's going to get life. I just don't.
Well, I said what he's facing.
Right. I mean, R. Kelly got the young girl shit. He got 30. And we know at R. Kelly's age, he'll end up dying in there. You know?
Or worse yet, he won't. And come out broke.
No, R. Kelly's in his 50s, though. He's going to come out 80 years old.
Yeah, he come out, he's 80. Yeah. Might be better to die in there. But be it as it may, man, you know, I did see a piece of them documentaries, and unfortunate. Nah, man, I didn't even recognize, you know, some of that brother, and it goes back to you know what we were talking about earlier. You know, them drugs really took a hold of him, man. Yeah. Them drugs really, and it's so sad to think,
and money.
Somebody who was so blessed.
Money gives you the chance. Money gives you the opportunity to take advantage of people, and it's up to you to be a righteous man and don't do that. But people will jump and do anything for money. When you reach that much money, oh man, people will do fucking backflips to be close to, and if you take advantage of that, then to me, man, you're a monster. When you take, especially women, I mean, this industry hasn't been kind to women at all. This industry has been taking advantage of women since day one, and that's not fair, but that's a fact. And you always got to go back to put yourself, you know, if that's your mother, if that's your sister, if that's your daughter, how would you feel? Type theory. And, you know, if the allegations are true, then he deserved to be right where he's at. But I don't think enough people are saying, I never saw it. It only takes one. It only takes one. Out of all these, and I'm listen, 99 could be full of shit. It only takes one. All it takes is one. But I never saw it. I've been because working with that man. Because you wasn't at the freak-off parties, Prez. Bro, but I was at every event. I was there. And that's why I could say, not only was I at the right parties. Because believe me, if you was there that deep, you would have got that call. Just whoever didn't get the call wasn't there like that. No, absolutely. You're 100% right. And that's why I could say, for what I witnessed. Right. And here's the crazy part. Puff didn't even used to get high. How about that? Like, you know, and I feel bad because the man I see in some of them videos, I know even he has to look at this and it breaks his own heart. When Puff used to come to the studio, you know how niggas be blowing trees in the studio and getting high? Niggas was fanning, waving, making sure the air was clear. Because he didn't even used to get high. So to see him become this person that got so hooked and so deep on them drugs, bro. Only you could feel like that. It breaks my heart. Only you could feel like that because you was there since the beginning. So it takes on a personal emotion, man. I understand. It does. And I pray for him, and I pray for the victims. If any of this stuff is right, I do. I pray for the victims. I do. But even if none of it is, Puff got to make amends with a lot of people who was down in the camp, and you know they helped make him a billionaire. He better make amends with him first, because believe me, there you go. And that's where it starts. Believe me, them fiery pits ain't nothing nice. Yo. Nah, that's where it starts, kid. You know, we could go through so much. What is your thoughts on that lawyer? I forget his name, but he came out with the suit against Puff and Jay-Z. Busby. But you know, Busby's using social media. You know, he wants clout. He's using social media, and you know he just dropped them charges. Yeah, of Jay and Diddy. Yeah, that's huge for Jay. Huge. I mean, Diddy is just fucking one charge out of 100, but for Jay and what he's went through and everything, that's huge for him, because I really thought that if that stuck, that really would fuck that up over there. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy it didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy it didn't. But you know what I love that Jay did that most celebrities don't? Because most celebrities, they let their PR people take the wheel, and they get quiet. They don't say nothing. He wasn't quiet. Jay was like, F that, nigga. You playing with somebody different. I come from the streets.
you got money, I got money. And I'm so happy to hear that Jay is now suing him.
Right.
Like, yo, you want to bring these frivolous charges against people?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to tie you up in court. Spend some of your money. So I'm happy. Again, if Jay is guilty, he deserves whatever he gets. If any of these guys are guilty, you deserve what you get. But just the fact that somebody can come and charge you out the clear blue sky.
That was dope. And that's going to put a damper on the rest of his people that he had for all the lawsuits. That's gonna hurt that also. He's one, I forgot what they call those type of lawyers. There's a word for it, but
them ambulance chasers.
Ambulance lawyers. That's what he is. He got the hair slicked back, and he's on social media, man. That's a major blow for him. I know he's embarrassed, and believe me, that's a blow for his whole firm. So, big ups to Jay for that. That's a W for us.
Nah, I love it, and I think people need to look at Jay's blueprint. Yo, if you didn't do it, don't stay quiet. Attack it head on.
Damn right.
Let people know. Don't come. If you got evidence, show it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna play the. And I love the fact, number one, Jay could do it at his level. Anybody could do it, but Jay got the money to really take this dude and expose him.
I hope it happens.
I hope it happens. But, we got to do a part 2 to this, real talk.
Yeah, man, because, man, listen, Prez, we got that chemistry, man. That's why I know, I really want to do my own podcast with us. Our podcast, we was talking about straight from the source. I know people would want to see that.
Absolutely.
Imagine this on Vlad's platform. Imagine straight from the source on Vlad's platform. It's time for Vlad to start executive producer now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Vlad got a lot of money now. Let's try to get some, you know what I mean? I think it's time for him to put on his EP hat. You know what I'm saying? Let him still think. But I think me and you, Prez, we got something good here. You know what I'm saying? And Moff been, shout out to Big Moff the Dawn, man.
Shout out to my brother Moff.
We've been talking about this for the last few years, man. And if we can get that going, man, that'd be dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I just love our chemistry, man. We have a great chemistry. The numbers surely kind of say what we, kind of prove it.
Absolutely.
So, and I also want to shout out Moff, man. This is Crime Gods. If anybody wants to get, he got a dope merch company, man. crimegodsmerch.com. Check it out. I'm going to be rocking this joint, man. And, man, I'm just so happy, Prez, man. I'm back. And, yeah, man, God is good.
God is good, man. I love our conversations. And, again, I know we have to get up out of here, but we're going to do a part 2 to this thing because it's so much more going on.
We had so much more. I mean, we only got through 50% of the talking points. So we got
Real
a lot
talk.
more. Vlad, I got to get back soon, buddy. This is part 1 right here. Part 2 soon.
All right, welcome back, kid. I'm glad you back in the building. Me and you, we got to definitely do our thing and really set this thing because the chemistry is incredible.
I'm Vinny Barbarino. Who are you?
I'm Carter.
I bet.
No, you know what? I'm Boom Boom Washington.
Okay, all right.
I'm Boom Boom Washington. All right, y'all, till next time, shout outs to the entire Vlad audience. My man Ray Benzino, I love you. I love the growth. I love the maturity, kid.
Yeah.
Peace and love.